In a stunning revelation, a U.S. nuclear-powered submarine was unknowingly hunted for 9 hours by a Russian anti-submarine warfare (ASW) aircraft in the waters of Russia's Far East. The incident, which occurred in March 2023, was kept quiet until recently. According to Colonel Andrei Pakomov, commander of Russian naval aviation, who spoke to the Sputnik news agency, the Russian submarine hunter aircraft shadowed and tracked the American vessel non-stop, without the crew realizing they were being watched. For 9 straight hours, the American nuclear submarine remained oblivious to the fact that it was being shadowed, because our ASW aircraft relied entirely on passive detection and tracking methods, ensuring complete stealth, Pakomov told Reuters. The Russian aircraft's sophisticated tracking techniques meant that the American submarine was not only being followed, but also being studied in real time, with every move scrutinized without the slightest hint of detection. Pakomov also revealed that the U.S. submarine was operating in Russia's far eastern waters on an intelligence-gathering mission, attempting to monitor the maneuvers of warships commanded by the Russian Pacific Fleet. The American submarine was so preoccupied with its reconnaissance mission that it was completely unaware that it had been detected, tracked, and closely monitored by Russian anti-submarine warfare aircraft. The U.S. submarine lurked beneath the waves, confident that its presence would go undetected. It had no idea that for 9 hours straight, we were right there, shadowing its every move, said Colonel Andrei Pakomov, as reported by Russian media outlet TASS. Despite the stunning revelation, the U.S. Department of Defense has yet to respond to the claims made by Russian authorities. The dramatic encounter is thought to have occurred in the waters near Vladivostok, in Russia's Far East, during a surprise inspection of Pacific Fleet warships by the Russian Navy's commander. Vladivostok, in Russia's Far East, serves as the Pacific Fleet's base. The Russian naval aviation is thought to have a formidable arsenal of long-range reconnaissance and anti-submarine warfare (ASW) aircraft, including the fearsome Tupolev Tu-142, also known in the West as Bear F, a modified variant of the iconic Tu-95 strategic bomber re-engineered to hunt submarines lurking beneath the depths. Along with these aerial hunters, Il-38, Dolphin, Maritime Patrol and ASW aircraft patrol Russia's far eastern waters, scanning the vast ocean for signs of unwelcome intruders. The Bear F is a dedicated predator designed for long-range reconnaissance and submarine tracking operations, which it has mastered over decades. Russia's ASW aircraft program began in the 1960s, during the height of the Cold War, when the Soviet Union sought to counter the looming threat of U.S. nuclear-powered submarines, particularly those armed with Polaris nuclear-guided ballistic missiles, deadly weapons capable of striking deep into Soviet territory. Today, at least 8 Tu-142 aircraft are thought to be in active service with the Russian Pacific Fleet, relentlessly patrolling the Far Eastern seas, sniffing out any signs of U.S. nuclear submarines operating in these disputed waters. The Tu-142, Bear F, was one its serious ace in that long-range overseas reach. Derived from the Tu-95, Bear, strategic bomber, it was a maritime reconnaissance, anti-submarine warfare. It was in fact to be capable of hunting down U.S. submarines first, then deal with tasky forces with large anti-ship missiles, although this role was better taken over by short-range Tu-16 Badger, Tu-22 Blinder and Tu-26 Backfire naval variants. Still, this rival of the iconic USAF B-52 bomber had no equivalent in the West, but the P-3 Neptune and P-5 Orion, smaller, slower and shorter range. The Tupolev Tu-95, nicknamed Bear by NATO, is a long-range strategic bomber and missile platform that has been a symbol of Soviet and later Russian military aviation since the 1950s. It was developed by the Tupolev Design Bureau, first flew in 1952, entered service in the Soviet Air Force in the mid-1950s. This was as a large, four-engine turboprop aircraft with a distinctive swept-wing design and a double fuselage, featuring contra-rotating propellers reducing engine vibrations and increasing efficiency. Its primary role was of strategic bomber, capable of carrying nuclear and conventional weapons. It has also later declined for maritime patrol and anti-submarine warfare aircraft. In this role, it carries torpedoes, depth charges, and anti-ship missiles. The Tu-95 has an impressive range, allowing it to conduct long-range missions. Early variants had a range of over 10,000 kilometers, 6,200 miles. Later versions have seen improvements in this regard. It typically has a crew of 6, which includes a pilot, co-pilot, navigator, bombardier, and 2 gunners. The cockpit is located in the forward section of the aircraft. Nuclear capabilities was included early on between free-fall bombs and cruise missiles, making it a key component of Russia's nuclear triad, alongside land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs. The Tu-95 is known for its distinctive and loud, thumping sound generated by its contra-rotating propellers. This sound is often associated with the aircraft and can be heard from a significant distance. It went through several upgrades and modernization programs over the years to improve its avionics, communication systems, and electronic countermeasures. These upgrades have extended its service life. It was exported, both the Tu-95 and Tu-142, to other countries, notably India for the latter. The Tu-95, Bear, has been a symbol of Russian military aviation and a strategic deterrent for many decades. It remains in service with the Russian aerospace forces, and its ongoing presence is a reminder of the Cold War era and the continuing importance of strategic bombers in modern military strategies.